Hello everybody, welcome to the final game in Series 8. This is matchup 5. Game number 1 of matchup 5, but the final video in Series 8. The Philadelphia Phillies visit the Houston Astros. Astros come in at 10 and 11, Phillies come in at 6 and 15. And Ryan Sandberg and AJ Hinch will try to match wits in this ball game from Minute Maid Park. Let's look at starting pitchers for today's game. For the Astros, it'll be right-hander Scott Feldman. And making his, I believe it's his first start, it might be his second, I'll check the stats, is lefty Adam Morgan for the Phillies. So with the lefty on the mound for the Phillies, the Astros have loaded their lineup with right-handed and switch hitters. So you can see on their bench, everybody on the bench is left-handed. There you see the lineup for both teams, bench and bullpens for both teams. Got the score sheet right here, but it's off camera because I just don't have enough room up here in the man cave to do all that. Let's get the dice tray to where we can see it, or hopefully you can see it. Let's push it back here. Move this out of the way a little bit. Don't really need that in the picture at the moment, so we'll go with that. Got the game on the computer right here in front of me, so I can have all the stats at my disposal. Got the Houston Astro themed dice with the blue, orange, and white. And I think we are just about ready to go. Let me fix the line score real quick so that doesn't go anywhere. All right, so Scott Feldman. We're at Minute Maid Park, or whatever they call it these days. I think it's still Minute Maid Park, but in 2015, we'll say it was Minute Maid Park. Scott Feldman will finish up the warm-up tosses, and he will be pitching to Odubel Herrera from the Phillies. And I'll give you the rundown on the stats. First of all, for injury reports for pitchers, Morgan's a 6'12", so he has to roll a 6'12" in order to check for injury. And Feldman 6'10" is his injury check. All right. On the replay, Scott Feldman 1-0 with a 3.28 ERA, 25 innings pitched, 27 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, and 3 home runs allowed. Odubel Herrera on the replay is hitting only a .97, 2 homers, and 5 driven in. So the Phillies may need to do some shifting around and get Herrera out of the leadoff spot. It seems like several of the teams have leadoff guys that just aren't cutting it. So we might have to do some maneuvering around, try to spur their offense some. Feldman to Herrera, 1-6, and well, Herrera says don't take me out of the leadoff spot just yet. 1-6 is a double. That is a 9 though. It's a leadoff single for Odubel Herrera. So just when I was thinking about getting him out of the leadoff spot, he says not so fast, my friends. I want to have a chance. So Odubel Herrera is at first base. He is a B stealer. He will have to be held. He might actually try to run because the Astros have Hank Conger catching, who's a +4 arm. So as a B stealer, starts as a 13, -3 for being held makes him a 10, but the +4 from Conger makes it a 14. Herrera will try to steal. And he does, and it's a 1, so it's a possible throwing error on Conger. Conger's T rating is an 11. And that's a 17, so it's not going to be thrown into the outer reaches of center field. It will be held on to as the shortstop Correa kept that from getting away, but it is a stolen base, and the Phillies are in business early on here in the top of the first. Base hit and a stolen base. Now that brings up Freddie Galvis. Herrera, of course, will be held on. Galvis 5'8", switch hitter batting left. It's ground ball second base X. That will at least get Herrera to third at a minimum. Second baseman Altuve is a 2. 2-19 is a good play, so Herrera will make third. I don't care if it's an A, B, C ground out. When it's hit to the right side like that, that's the one caveat I have in advance, is I do allow the runner to go to third just because it's realistic. So Herrera will go to third on the 4-3 ground out with 1 away. And that's going to bring up Chase Utley. And the infield for the Astros, they're going to lay back because they figure they're going to score some runs. So they're going to play back, try to prevent a big inning. Utley on the replay is hitting 220, 2 homers, 5 driven in. That's a 2-4 for Utley. And that doesn't matter where they're playing. 1-2 is a home run. 3-20 is a double. Boy, the Phillies come out to hit today. That is a double for Chase Utley. Herrera will score, and the Phillies break through here in the top of the first. They lead it 1-0 as Chase Utley, and he had been struggling as well, but struggle no more. He is on second base with a double. And that will bring up Jeff Francoeur, Frenchie. Frenchie's hitting .319, 5 homers, 13 runs driven in. Utley will be held at second. He runs well. 6-10, and that's the injury check for Feldman. So he's going to be checked for an injury after we check the result of the play. 6-10 is a fly to center field for out number 2. But more importantly, Feldman could very well have to leave this ball game here in the first inning on an injury check. And let's see what we got here on the pitcher chart. Pitcher injuries. We're looking at this column right here. Roll 1 D20. So if it's a 1 through 6, he can stay in the game. Otherwise, 7 or higher, he's got to come out. That's a 6. So he's shaking it off and staying in the game. So he's gutting it out. That is good news for the Astros, as they really don't want to go to the bullpen this quickly. Here's Ryan Howard. Big out to get here for Feldman. Howard, of course, is struggling, only hitting a .194, 2 homers, 8 runs driven in. Utley continues to be held on at second. 6-8 against the left-hander. That's a ground ball to second, and Altuve puts it away to end the inning. So they limit the damage to just 1 run. So the Phillies get 1, but that's all they get. And we go to the bottom of the first. Phillies 1, Astros coming to bat against Adam Morgan. And Morgan has had 1 previous start. He has an ERA of 3.38, no win-loss record. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So this is his second start of the season. Started, got sent down to the minors, and they're bringing him back up. See what he can do. He's got a tough task facing Jose Altuve, followed by Springer and Gonzalez. Altuve on the replay hitting .276, no homers, 10 runs driven in. 2-5 for Altuve, grounds it right back to Morgan, and that's 1 away. Easy play there. And that'll bring up George Springer. Springer on the replay. .333, 2 homers, 7 driven in. 2-6 against the lefty, and that's a walk. So Springer will draw the 1-out walk as the Astros try to respond to the run that the Phillies put on in the first inning, the top half. They're going to try to respond to that in the bottom half, the run of their own. Springer does run well as an ace stealer. Catcher Ruiz is a +1 arm. So as an ace stealer, he starts at a 15. -2 for being held makes him a 13. +1 for Ruiz is a 14. So they're going to send him. 1-14, Springer's going to try to steal it. And he does. So Springer, just like Herrera, gets on base and steals the base. So he's in scoring position with 1 out for switch hitting Marwin Gonzalez. Kind of plays everywhere. Today he's playing in left field. And he's hitting .367, 4 homers, 10 runs driven in. So they definitely want to get his bat in the lineup. They just don't want to leave him without, on the bench and whatnot. So Gonzalez to swing away. Springer will be held. Oops. That's a 3-6 against the lefty, and that's a 1-3 triple. 4-20 is a single, 2 stars. That's a 3. It's a triple for Marwin Gonzalez. How do you like that? An RBI triple for Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin Gonzalez gets a triple. Gonzalez with the triple ties the game, and he's at third base with only 1 out. So the infield, I believe, for the Phillies will come in and try to choke that run off. And they will as DH Evan Gattis comes to the plate. So Gattis stepping to the plate. Gattis hitting .221, 2 homers, 4 driven in. Infield is in. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Utley. He's a 4. 4 and a 9. We'll check defensively. A 4 and a 9. Goes to an error check. Utley's an E15. And that's a 12. Wow. E15 and a 12 is a ground ball A. So it's a good play. And now we'll check the runner infield in chart. On a ground ball A, the batter is out. Runner on third has to hold. So it's just a 4-3 ground out. Nice play by Utley. Keeps it in front of him and keeps the runner at third base, more importantly. So now there are 2 away for Carlos Correa. And Correa checks in hitting .500, 6 for 12 on the young season since being called up. 2 homers and 4 driven in. So Correa looking to get something done here against Morgan with 2 outs. 3-3, and he will walk, and that keeps the inning going. So Carlos Correa draws the 2-out walk, puts runners on the corners for Chris Carter, the first baseman. Chris Carter checks in, hitting only a .43, no homers and 3 runs driven in. Correa, a B stealer, but I think with you already got a guy in scoring position at third, you don't want to run yourself out of an inning. So they will have Mr. Carter try to swing away and do something. Morgan to Carter. 1-6, and he struck him out to end the inning. Ends the inning on a strikeout. So Morgan escapes, just allowing the 1 run. Certainly could have been a lot worse. But at the end of 1, it's 1-1. Big strikeout there for Adam Morgan. Astros had a chance to blow that thing open here in the first inning, but Morgan held on. So shaky first inning for both pitchers involved, and now Feldman will come out to start the second. See if he can do any better. He's going to face Maikel Franco, third baseman. Franco, in just 15 at-bats, is hitting .067. No homers and 1 driven in. 1-4, and that is a ground ball to second. 1 away. Super advance, we do the split chance on the triangle, but advance we do not. So it's just simply a 4-3 ground out. 1 away for designated hitter Cody Ashe. And Ashe on the replay is hitting .208, 2 homers, 3 driven in. 5-4, that's a fly ball center field X. That is Marisnik, and he is a 1. 1 and a 9 may go to an error check. Let's take a look here. 1 and a 9 does go to an error check. Marisnik's error rating is a E5. And that's a 7. So E5 and a 7 for a center fielder is a good play. Fly ball B, good enough. 2 down. Marisnik makes the play to retire Mr. Ashe. And now here's Carlos Ruiz, the catcher. Ruiz really struggling, hitting 102. No homers and 1 driven in. 5-9 against Feldman, but it struggled no more. Chance for a home run, but he does have weak power, so a 1-16 will only be a single. 17-20 would be that double. But it's going to be a single for Ruiz. Had he had normal power, that would have been a home run. But merely going to be a loud single for Carlos Ruiz. The Ruiz, a 2-out single. And that will send up the number 9 hitter, Ben Revere. Revere checks in, hitting .273, no homers and 2 driven in. Ruiz will not be held at first base. 6-3 against the lefty is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Phils here in the second. They come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-1. And Adam Morgan back out. See if he can do a little bit better than he did in the first inning. He'll be facing Jed Lowry, who's just back from injury. His first game back, I do believe it is. And he, of course, played some before the injury. And he's hitting a .120 in 25 at-bats. No homers or runs driven in. So he's trying to get his feet wet, Jed Lowry. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 2-6. He just came off an injury. Now he's got a strikeout plus injury again. Talk about being snake bit. Jed Lowry's going to most likely have to leave again. And if he does that, then they'll just bring in Valbuena to play third. But they were hoping to get more life out of Jed Lowry than one at bat. So let's go to the injury chart once again. This time on the batter side on the D20. That's a 9, so he's going to miss this game plus one more. So he can come back for game 3 of the series, but as of now, he is out of there. So Lowry is gone, and Valbuena will be taking over at third base for Jed Lowry. So Valbuena was trying to get the day off against the lefty, but not to be with the injury. So Jed Lowry will go back into the clubhouse to be attended to, but he will not be back today or the next game. And Valbuena will be taking over. That brings up the catcher, Hank Conger. Conger is hitting .387, 31 at bats. He's hitting .387 with a homer and 2 RBIs. That's why he's in there, even though his defense is poor. He's hitting so well, you kind of hate to take him out of the game. Plus Castro being a lefty against a lefty, they want to play Conger. 4-7, Conger, switch hitter batting right, is a single. So again, right on cue, Conger keeps the hot hitting going. He gets yet another base hit to improve that average even further. He, of course, will not be held, though. He doesn't run well at all. And here's Jake Marisnick. He's the opposite. He's in there for his defense. He's hitting a .182, no homers or runs driven in, but he plays a 1 in center field. That's why he's there. 4-7, Morgan 4-7. That's a single, 2 stars against the righty. So Conger, even though he doesn't run well, he manages to scoot over to third base. Marisnick with the base hit against Morgan. And again, Morgan is in trouble. 1 out and runners at the corners. And back to the top of the order for Altuve. Infield is going to play. They're going to play for the double play. They're playing back for the double play. Marisnick, let's see, does he run well? Yes, he does. He's an A stealer, but with Altuve and Springer coming up, they're not going to steal him. They're just going to have to hold him. 5-8 against the righty. That's a fly ball right field B. That's a sacrifice fly, and Conger will come in to score. And the Astros have taken the 2-1 lead on the sacrifice fly by Altuve. All Francoeur could do was catch it and toss it back into second. There's no chance to get Conger. It was so deep. So Altuve sacrifice fly. That brings up Springer. And now Marisnick, with there being nobody else on base but him, will now look to run. He is an A stealer, which starts him as a 15. -2 from Hell is a 13. And a +1 from Ruiz is a 14. 1 to 14, they're going to send him. And he's out. Stolen base, he was out on a 20. Wow, the D20 just wrecked him right there. So Springer will have to lead off next inning. So the caught stealing is going to go 2 to 4 as Utley put on the tag. And that's going to do it for the Astros. But they take a 2-1 lead after 2. We go to the third inning. Top of the third. Morgan may or may not be around this game much longer. He's just hasn't been effective. He's been shaky both innings. Feldman back out. Now he kind of righted the ship in the second. See what he can do. Back to the top of the order for Odubel Herrera. Herrera singled, stole second, and scored his first time up. That's a 3-2 for Herrera. He's going to fly to right, 1 down. And that'll bring up Freddie Galvis. And Herrera continues to struggle in that leadoff position, despite getting the hit the first time up. So here's Galvis. Grounded to second his first trip. 4-5. 4-5 is a fly to left field. Hauled in out there by Gonzalez, and there's 2 away. 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Chase Utley. Utley had the big RBI double his first time up. 1-9. He will ground it to short. This time Correa over to Carter, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Feldman. As he got back in the groove, we go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-1 favor the Stros. And Morgan back out. Both pitchers have fatigue ratings of 6, but if they're struggling, of course, they won't make it through 6. We'll have to wait and see. Springer, who was at the plate when Marisnick was caught stealing, he's back up. First time up for Springer. He drew a walk, stole a base, and scored. That's a 2-5, and it's a 1-3 single. Anything else, he will ground it to Franco at third. And he grounds to Franco at third, 1 away. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Had a big triple his first time up. .310 against the lefty, and that's a home run chance for Gonzalez. 1-15 is a home run. 20, he couldn't quite get it. It's just a deep fly to left field. Boy, he had a chance there, and he would have been well on his way to a cycle with already having a triple, and that would have been a homer. And I've never had a cycle before, but I guess I still won't have a cycle. Oh well, maybe one of these days. Had a no-hitter, but no cycle. All right, here's Gaddis. 3-6, and he grounds to short to end the inning. So that time Morgan got some breaks, got through the inning. And we go to the 4th, still 2-1. Favor the Astros. And Frenchie, Jeff Francoeur, will lead things off for the Phillies. See what he could do against Mr. Feldman. First time up for Francoeur, he flew to center. .15, and it's a 1-8 single chance. Anything else? Whoops, I just dropped the orange dice there, or orange die. So 1-8 is a single. Anything else, he lines to Altuve. And he gets it through for a base hit. Altuve couldn't reach it. Frenchie, Francoeur, reaches with a leadoff single. He is not a threat to run, so he will not be held as an E stealer. But they're just glad to have him on base. Jeff Francoeur at first base, the leadoff single. That'll bring up Ryan Howard. The bad part for this is Howard is a good double play candidate. 5-5. That's a ground ball first base B, though. It's a fielder's choice, so Francoeur will be removed from the base paths, and reaching on the fielder's choice will be Mr. Howard. So he's on first with 1 out now. Out goes 3-6. On the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Maikel Franco. And for Franco, first time up, he flew to center. Howard, of course, not being held. 310. 310 is a base hit. 2 stars. That'll move Howard to third base. So the Phillies got something cooking. Runners are on the corners with only 1 out. Maikel Franco gets the big base hit. Now here's Cody Ashe. And he can certainly use something. He's been struggling as of late. Struck out his first chance. Infield back for the double play. Franco at first base will not be held as an E stealer. 1-7, and that's a 1 for a double. Anything else, it'll be a sacrifice fly to left field. It's a 1. How about that? Cody Ashe gets the double on that 1 on the D20. Cody Ashe with a double to left. Franco not being held, but I don't think he runs all that well either. Gonzalez is a +1 arm, though. But he only runs as a 10. Not being held as 11. +1 is a 12. Not good enough odds. They're going to hold Franco at third with only 1 out. Howard does come in to score to tie the game. And that'll bring up Carlos Ruiz. So Franco puts the brakes on at third base. Cody Ashe, the formerly struggling Cody Ashe, comes through with a big double to tie the game at 2. And here's Carlos Ruiz, the batter. Infield for the Astros now will come in. .610, that's the injury check again for Feldman. 6-10 will be a fly to center where the runner cannot advance. But, again, the bigger question is he going to be injured? He escaped it the last time. Can he escape it again? Or will he be around to face Ben Revere? That's the other question. Back to the pitcher injury chance. He needs a 1 through 6 to stay in the game. 8, he's got to come out. So he's going to miss 2 games, which basically means for him is be his next start. So it's really not going to affect him, except he's got to leave this game right now. So Scott Feldman will leave due to injury. He is going to go 3 2/3. And he will only face 17 batters. And the Astros will bring in a new pitcher, and he will get as much time as he needs to warm up. So let's see who they're going to use for long relief. Do they have anybody that can go multiple innings or a lot of innings? Looks like most of their guys are 1-inning guys, so they're just going to have to do bullpen by committee, I believe. So looks like with the lefty coming up, they're going to go to Joe Thatcher out of the bullpen. Don't have any long relief guys, so Thatcher it is. And like I said, there was an off day before Series 8 started, so bullpen does have some pretty good rest at their disposal. So Thatcher will be on for the Astros, and Feldman will be out the rest of this game. Feldman can't win it, but he certainly could lose it. So let's go to the bullpen for Thatcher and get his numbers. On the replay, Thatcher is 0-0 with a 3.60 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So he'll be facing Ben Revere with 2 outs and 2 on, 1 already in, score tied at 2. Lefty on lefty, 2-3, and that's a single to right field for Ben Revere. Ashley, the trail runner, was not being held. So he runs at 11, not being held makes him a 12, 2 outs makes it a 14. Right fielder Springer's a -2 on him, that makes it a 12. 1-12, they're going to send him. 17, he is out at the plate. So Springer saves a run by throwing out Ashley at the plate. But Revere brings home the go-ahead run as Franco scores on the single to right field. But Ashley is out 9-2. But the Phillies put 2 up here in the 4th. And that run is charged to Feldman. So he certainly, if the Astros never tie the game, will be subject to taking the loss. But the Astros certainly are thinking about scoring more runs than that, so most likely he will get a no decision. That's just my guess. So Revere singles. And now that brings up Correa to lead off the bottom of the 4th. And I've got to pause the video for a moment. Okay, we are back. I had to cut the air conditioning on, a little window unit up here in the man cave, so it's getting a little warm. So if you hear the background humming, that's what that is. But getting too stuffy, I had to have it. All right, so here is Correa to face Adam Morgan. Morgan now being given a 3-2 lead to protect. He's going to face Carlos Correa to start things off. That's a 5-8, and that's a fly to right. Boys, 5-9 would have been a straight-up home run, but 5-8 is just a fly to right field for 1 away. So Correa just missing that, and Francoeur putting it away for out number 1. It's going to bring up Chris Carter. And Carter, his first time up, struck out. 3-4. It's going to ground to first. There is a C there. So whenever it's a C, I like to do, as I followed some other folks that are on that have their channels, they like to do a 3-1 put out where when it's a ground ball C, it's like a difficult play to first. So in this case, Howard had to flip to Morgan covering for the out. I mean, not that it's a big deal, it's just something to kind of add to it. That way the pitcher gets a chance to have some put outs and the first baseman has more chances for assist. Just to mix things up. Here is Valbuena, the new third baseman since Lowry was injured. So the Astros have had 2 injuries. They've had Lowry injured, and they've also had the starting pitcher, Feldman, injured. So they've been hit by the injury bug in this game. Valbuena, lefty on lefty, 210. And look at this, that's a straight up home run, 1-18. So how about that? Valbuena can come into the game and hit a home run. And he does. It is gone. I didn't even get a chance to give you the numbers on Valbuena yet. So let me go do that and get the numbers for you. As he comes in and homers right away. His first at bat. He was only hitting .211 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs, make it 3 homer and 6 RBI. And it is a tie game at 3, thanks to the home run from Valbuena. That'll bring up Hank Conger. 4-6, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. But we are tied at 3 after 4 complete. So how about that? Three to 3 after 4 innings of play. And now Thatcher, since he only faced 1 batter previous inning, will come back out. And it is going to be lefty Herrera to lead it off. And for Herrera, he is 1 for 2. This time though, he's facing a lefty. 6-8 for Thatcher. Let me make sure that's not a, I don't think that's an injury check. That would be awful bad to be an injury check at a 6-8, but I'll double check it just to be on the safe side. Thatcher, he's a 6-12, so he's good to go. 6-8 against a lefty is a single though, so Odubel Herrera, leadoff single. And he's going to be looking to run because that +4 arm is just sticking out like a sore thumb. So Odubel Herrera, 2 for 3 now from the leadoff spot after saying he was struggling for so much. He is a B stealer, starts as a 13, -3 is a 10 for being held, but then +4 from Conger. So 14, 1 to 14, he's going to go. And he makes it, and it's a 1, another possible throwing error on Conger. He's a T10. 17 though, so again, Correa saves a bad throw, but Herrera, his second stolen base of the game. So he singles for the second time and steals a base for the second time. Gets himself into scoring position with nobody out. And he will have to be held on for Freddie Galvis. 6-8 again against a right-hander. That is a 1-7 triple. 8 to 20 is a double. So that will score the run for sure. That is a triple for Freddie Galvis, and I believe that, well, Utley's coming up with another lefty, but it won't be long before Thatcher is out of this ball game, as Freddie Galvis clubs a triple into the gap, and that puts the Phillies ahead now by the score of 4 to 3 on the triple by Galvis, but there's still nobody out, so obviously room to score more runs. Chase Utley, the batter. Thatcher is now tired, but you do have the lefty matchup here against Utley, so I think they're going to stick with him one more chance. The infield is in. 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. That is Springer. He's a 2. 2 and a 20. That might prevent a sacrifice fly. Let's see. 2 and a 20. 2 and a 20 is a fly C. So if it had been a 19 or 17, something like that, it would have been a sac fly, but this is a fly ball C, so it's not deep enough. Springer good enough to keep that from happening, and that will be it for Thatcher. He will now leave, and with Francoeur coming up, they will go to the bullpen for a right-hander, and it'll be Pat Neshek, the side-winding right-hander. He will be coming on to try to get out of the mess. So that's all for Thatcher, and Pat Neshek will be coming on. Let's get the numbers on Neshek. Neshek on the replay is 0-0 with a 2.57 ERA, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So Pat Neshek, infield is still in with only 1 out. And Frenchie, the batter, Jeff Francoeur, trying to lift something in the air to get a sacrifice fly if possible. That's a 2-11, and it is a fly ball center field B question mark, so not necessarily can score automatically, but certainly a good chance. Galvis has really good speed. He runs at a 14. Well, pretty good speed. He runs at a 14. You add 2 to make it a 16, and then the center fielder Armoriznik is a -2, make it a 14. So 1 to 14 he will score. 15 to 20 he'll be out trying. You got to try it. 1 to 14 he'll make it. 19 he's thrown out. So how about that? Jeff Francoeur thought he had a sac fly, but Marisnik had other ideas. That's why he's in the game for his defense, and it comes through right there. It's a double play, 8 and then 8 to 2 as Conger put on the tag for the double play, and the Phillies come away with just the 1 run. They got to feel snake bitten. They got to feel snake bitten. Pat Neshek, a wonderful job as it turns out to get out of that, and keeps us a 1-run game. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So Neshek did the job. And now Adam Morgan comes back out, and he'll be facing, and wouldn't you know it, the guy who makes the nice defensive play usually leads off the next inning, and that's exactly what's happening. Marisnik is your leadoff hitter to start things off against Mr. Morgan. Marisnik, his first time up, single, was caught stealing. 6'10", his injury rate is 6'12". So 6'10" is a ground ball to short. Marisnik is out of there, but he's in there for his defense, as seen last inning, Exhibit A. So there's 1 down for Altuve as the order flips over. Altuve 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. 1-6, and not anymore. He's going to get a base hit. 1 to 17 is a double, and that is a double for Jose Altuve. 1-out double, and back come the Astros in this back and forth tilt. Now where's my Altuve marker? I'm missing him. Where did he go? There he is. He's hiding on me. It's a double for Altuve. Tying runs in scoring position for George Springer. Altuve will have to be held. He runs very well. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. That'll get Altuve at least to third. Second baseman is Utley. He is a 4. 4 and a 1. That's going to get through for a base hit. So Altuve is actually going to come around and score, and that will tie the game just that quickly on the base hit by George Springer. Sneaking it by Utley, and we got a tie. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Tie ball game at 4 on the base hit by Springer. After the double by Altuve. 4-4. Now the bullpen for the Phillies is starting to maneuver around a little bit. Marwin Gonzalez is your batter. Gonzalez has already had a triple in the game and just missed a home run. Springer stole a base in the first. Don't know if they want to try to steal here. They might. I think with nobody out, they're going to let Gonzalez swing because they got Morgan on the ropes. 1-6, and it's a fly to left, 1 down. Actually 2 away now. So that's 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Evan Gattis, catch the DH. Used to be a catcher back in the day. 5-5, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So the Astros have tied it. After 5 complete, we are tied at 4 in this back and forth seesaw game. Hopefully it's a close game. The last 2 played were not that close, so I'm certainly hoping that we can get a close game this time. Neshek back out, and he will face. He only faced 1 batter, so he's definitely good to go. He's going to face Ryan Howard. Start the 6th, tied at 4, 2-10, and wow, 2-9 would have been a homer, but 2-10 is simply going to be a fly out to left field. Super advanced to be a home run check, but in advance it's just a fly out. So Howard is out of there. That brings up Michael Franco. 1-6, and he grounds to short. Boy, 1-5 would have been an injury check, but 1-6 is simply a grounder to short. 2 down for Cody Ashe, the designated hitter. Ashe had a big double his last time up. 2-5, and this time he strikes out. So Neshek, impressive outing for Neshek. He's going to go an inning and a third. Will Neshek. So Neshek will be done with an inning and a third. And Adam Morgan coming back out to start the 6th. This is his point of weakness inning. But the Philly bullpen is loosening. Jenmar Gomez is tossing in the bullpen for the Phillies as we speak. Astros, of course, have already used Thatcher and Neshek due to the injury on Feldman. So Correa will lead things off for the Astros, followed by Carter and Valbuena. Correa's walked and fly to right. 4-4, and it's a ground ball third base X. That's Michael Franco. He is a 3. I'm sorry, he is a 2. 2 and it didn't matter. 2 and a 1 or a 3 and a 1, it wouldn't matter. It's a base hit. It's a base hit leadoff single by Correa, and he continues his hot hitting with a leadoff single. Brings up Chris Carter. Correa, a B stealer, so he will hold. They will hold him 1, but he won't try to steal. Let's see if Chris Carter can do something. 3-6, and he strikes out. So he did something already. He struck out. 1 down. Big strikeout for Morgan. Brings up Valbuena, lefty on lefty. 4-9, and that's a single to center field. Correa, I believe, will stop at second. Runs at a 14, being held makes him a 13. Herrera's arm is a +1, make it a 14. You know what? They're going to try to send him to third base. And he's out trying, so got aggressive and got thrown out. Herrera throws him out. Boy, maybe we should have held him. I think he ran through the stop sign of the third base coach. So the single by Valbuena goes for naught as Correa is out 8-5. Nice throw by Herrera. So that definitely put a kibosh on the rally. Valbuena is at first base though with 2 outs. But it kind of, like I said, kind of took the starch out of some of the rally. Here's Hank Conger. 5-10, and boy, 5-9 would have been a home run chance, but 5-10's a catcher X. Ruiz is a 4. 4 and a 3 for a catcher. 4 and a 3 for a catcher is a foul out. So good play to end the inning. And Morgan makes it through 6, and I think they're going to cap him at that 6. He's going to face 26 batters, and he will leave. He cannot lose it. He could win it, but he cannot lose it. As we are tied at 4 apiece after 6 innings of play. We'll need a new pitcher for the Astros as well, as Neshek is done. And Morgan is done. Jenmar Gomez will be the new pitcher for the Phillies in the bottom half of the inning. The top half, they're going to send in Chad Qualls. So Chad Qualls is on to pitch. Qualls will be on. And let's get the numbers on Qualls. Qualls on the replay is 3-1 with a 1.64 ERA. 11 innings pitched, 9 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He's got 3 wins as a reliever. So he's up near the tops in wins. League lead is 4. He's right there in second place as a relief pitcher. He's got a lot of what they call vulture wins out of the bullpen. So he'll take it though. He's going to try to see if he can get another win out of the bullpen. Carlos Ruiz, the batter. Top of the 7th. 4-4. Out of the bullpens now. 3-6. Ground ball back to Qualls, and that's one away. Brings up Ben Revere. (5-9), and that's a ground ball to second. 2 down. Easy play for Altuve. 2 up and 2 down. Go back to the top of the order for the resurging Herrera, who was 2 for 3. And he made that nice throw from center field as well. 2-4, but not this time. He grounds to Altuve to end the inning in a rather uneventful top of the 7th. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. We'll need a new pitcher for the Phillies. We'll have to figure out who that's going to be. I believe it's Genmar Gomez. Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it's Genmar Gomez. So while the logistics of that gets taken care of, I'm going to stand. Hopefully, if you want to stand, you can as well. And sing along with "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Homeowners, for a limited time, you can have Leaf Guard installed for only...
Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Stand and sing for "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Alrighty. We are now ready for the bottom of the 7th, and Genmar Gomez is in for the Phillies. Genmar Gomez, the right-hander. Qualls may come back and pitch the 8th as well. Since he had a 1-2-3 inning, he probably will. So Genmar Gomez, let's get his numbers on the replay. Genmar Gomez checks in. He is 0-2 with a 3.60 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 10 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So Genmar Gomez is on. He'll face Marisnick to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Astros would prefer to have some better offense, but they don't want to take his defense out of the game, so they'll let him lead off. He is 1 for 2. That was against the lefty Morgan. 6-3, and that's a leadoff walk. So he draws a walk off of Genmar Gomez. So that could be big. Marisnick does run well, and he may be looking to run that leadoff walk. And that brings up Altuve. He doubled his last time. Marisnick is an A stealer. Starts him as a 15, -2 from Hill is a 13. Ruiz +1's a 14. They're going to send him 1-14. And he's thrown out. So boy, had a lot of caught stealings in this game, and get aggressive, and it just didn't work out. You think 1-14 you'd make it, but not this time. Utley puts on the tag, and he is out of there. So Altuve will have to bat with nobody on. See what he can do. (1-7), and he will single. So Altuve just cranking it back up with a base hit. But boy, how big was that caught stealing now? And now if you're Altuve, you're a double-A stealer. That's a big difference. That's a 17. -2 for being held is a 15. +1 is a 16. So they're going to send him 1-16. Why not? And he's caught again. The D20 is evil. Another caught stealing. Boy, Carlos Ruiz is just throwing pills down there. And Utley's applying the tag as we go. So 2 down on 2 caught stealings. Unbelievable. And George Springer, the batter. 6-4. That's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Galvis. Galvis is a 2. 2 and a 17 is a good play, so that will end the inning. We go to the 8th, tied at 7. Tied at 7. Boy, just the 2 caught stealings back to back like that, especially for such good base runners, just amazing. Tells you about the D20. I mean, you just can't trust the D20 these days. So Qualls back out. To start the 8th, we'll be facing Freddie Galvis. So Galvis is up to the plate, rather. He did triple his last time up. 3-3. Not this time. He will fly to right. 1 away. Start the 8th. So at least I got my close game I wanted. Took a while to get it, but I finally got it. Here's Utley. 6-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. That's Valbuena. He's a 3. 3 and a 19 is a good play. So Valbuena makes the easy toss over to first for 2 down for Frenchie Jeff Francoeur. Maybe just a blast will take care. Somebody will get a blast and that'll win the game. Let's see. 110. Nope, it's going to be a fly to right again to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Phillies here in the 8th. Easy inning for Chad Qualls. He has pitched 2 easy innings, so he's going to be done. He's going to be capped at 2 innings. So his work is done. Chad Qualls went 2 innings. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th. Do they want Gomez to come back is the question. That is a good question. Marwin Gonzalez will lead off for the Astros, followed by Gaddis and Correa. So you got switch right. And Gomez does have a 2 for his relief rating, so he needs a 12 for an injury rating, 6-12. So they're going to leave him out there. They're going to leave Jenmar Gomez out there for his 2nd inning of work, but the bullpen is active. Jake Diekman, a lefty, is loosening, just in case. 5-2 against the lefties, a ground ball to first, and Ryan Howard will step on the bag to record the first out. And after 2 relatively non-close games, this one's looking like it might go extra innings. Who knows? DH is Evan Gaddis. 4-3, and that's a ground ball first base X. Howard gets a chance again. Tougher plays, a 4. 4 and a 1. It's going to get through for a base hit. So Evan Gaddis, 4 and a 1 actually is going to be just a single, not a double. So Gaddis will get a leadoff single, but he's going to be called back. They're going to get a pinch runner for Gaddis in the DH spot. And that pinch runner, I believe, is going to be, let's see who the better runner is, whether it's Tucker or Rasmus. We'll take a look here. Rasmus doesn't run all that well, so it's got to be Tucker. Well, neither one of them run well. Rasmus does run as a 14 for speed, but an E-stealer, but he is a 14, which is better than Gaddis's 10. So they will bring in Colby Rasmus. He will take over as the designated hitter and, of course, the runner in this case. So Colby Rasmus will be the pinch runner for Gaddis. And Carlos Correa is your batter with 1 out. Rasmus will not be held on. As an E-stealer, they will not hold him on. So Correa steps to the plate with 1 out and 1 on. 1-6, and that's a 1-13 single. 14-20, he grounds out. That's a single, 1 star. So base hit by Correa puts runners at first and second. Correa continues the hot hitting since being called up. He has really been smoking it. First and second, 1 out. And that brings up Chris Carter, first baseman. Lefty Valbuena is on deck, so this is probably the last batter that Jenmar Gomez is going to get to face. 2-6 for Carter. 1-18 is a home run, so he may have faced one batter too many. 1-18 rather is a 2-run homer for Chris Carter. I'm sorry, a 3-run homer for Chris Carter. And it is gone. Chris Carter, a 3-run homer. So just when I thought about extra innings or a close game, Chris Carter goes kaboom and hits a 3-run blast off of Jenmar Gomez, who is now tired, by the way, after that. Well, probably should have took him out before that, but didn't do it. And now, almost doesn't matter who you bring in. They're going to bring in Josh Fields. Even though he's not left-handed, they don't care. Not Josh Fields. What am I talking about? I'm on the wrong team. They're going to bring in DeFreitas. My bad. DeFreitas will come in for the Phillies to pitch, and he'll be facing Luis Valbuena in what is now a 7-4 ball game. And Luke Gregerson, the closer for the Astros, is loosening in the bullpen, looking to nail down a save potentially. So let's get the card for DeFreitas, Justin DeFreitas, and we'll get his numbers as well as Gomez will hit the showers. 3-run bomb by Chris Carter. He hadn't done anything all year, but he does it now. And what a time to do it. DeFreitas, 0-1 with a 2.25 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. So he's facing Valbuena with 1 out and the base is clear. 5-7, and that's a 1-3 double. Anything else flies to Herrera. And that's a 1, so it's going to be a double. Boy, the D20 is just acting up today. All kinds of weird things happening with the D20, and Valbuena says, I'll take it. He greets DeFreitas with a double. Boy, only had a 1, 2, or 3 to be a double. Everything else would have been an out, and it shows up as a 1. So a double by Valbuena. And now Hank Conger. Let's see. They may let him hit, but I think they're going to bring in Castro to catch after this. You know what? They're going to pull him now. They're going to let Castro pinch hit up by 3 and let him stay in the game to catch. So Conger will be pulled back, and Jason Castro will be the new pinch hitter as well as the catcher going into the into the top of the 9th. Let's get the numbers on Castro. Castro is hitting 186 in 43 at-bats, 2 homers and 8 runs driven in. But he's a much better defensive catcher. He's a 2 with a -1 arm. So here is Castro. 1-7, and it's a 1-6 single. Anything else 7-20, it's a line out. And it's a 4, so the D20 continues to haunt the pitchers or haunt certain teams. It's a single 1 star for the pinch hitter Castro. So even though he was struggling, he gets a pinch hit here. Puts runners on the corners with still only 1 out. And Jake Marisnick, you're not going to take him out. He's a great defensive player. So runners on the corners, 1 out, and the infield is now in. Really have no choice but to be in. 3-5, and that's a single to center field by Marisnick. Didn't matter where they were. Valbuena will score. Castro will stop at second. Marisnick an RBI single. That is run number 4. I knew I shouldn't have put the numbers in there ahead of time. That is now a 4-run 8th inning for the Astros. It's now 8-4. Now it's not even a save situation, so Gregerson has sat down and Josh Fields will be coming in for the Astros because it's no longer a save situation. All right, Altuve is up, and DeFreitas is just going to take one for the team here. 3-6, and that's a 1-18 single. It will load the bases on a 1-18, and it does. Bases are now loaded, but these are, in all fairness to DeFreitas, most of these are coming off the batter cards, so he's really not had much impact. He just had bad luck. So Altuve with the single to load the bases with still only 1 out, and that brings up George Springer. If it's not already blown open, Springer could blow it open right here. He is the 9th man to bat in the inning. One, 3, and that's a single to left field. That will score the run. Revere is a +3 arm, so you know they're going to send Marisnik. Marisnik was not being held. He runs at a 16, not being held at a 17. +3 arm is a 20, so it's basically a 1 to 19. And he's going to score as well. Altuve will stop at second. But a 2-run single off the bat of Springer, and it's now a 6-run 8th inning. And I should probably stop putting numbers in here and just wait till the final result, but oh well. What are you gonna do? Springer now was the 9th man to bat in the inning, and they have batted around. And Gonzalez, who led off the inning by grounding out to first, he's made the only out of the inning. They batted around and still not 2 outs yet. That's how bad it is. Score is now 10 to 4. (5-3) for the Freitas is a fly ball right field X. That's Francoeur. He's a 2. 2 and a 20. 2 and a 20 for a right fielder. 2 and a 20 is a fly ball C, so nobody can move up. Not that they would really want to at this point. 2 down finally, and Marwin Gonzalez has made both outs. I don't know, is that how you like that? Your team scoring all these runs and you made both the outs. All right, so here's Colby Rasmus. He came in as a pinch runner earlier in the inning for Gaddis, and he gets the chance to bat now. 2-4, and he grounds to second, and they weren't holding the runners because of the score, so the plus is not going to matter. That's just going to be an out. With the score 10 to 4, they weren't holding the runners, so that's going to end the inning. But a 6th spot comes in. Astros have pounded out 10 runs and 17 hits in this game. They lead it 10 to 4, and Josh Fields will be the pitcher for the Astros to clean things up here in the 9th. Josh Fields, with the score, the game result pretty much not in doubt. They will go to one of their lesser relievers. They're not going to use their closer, obviously. So they will go to Mr. Fields as soon as I can find his card. In here somewhere. Josh Fields. Where are you, Josh Fields? Got limited space, so both these teams' pitchers are kind of getting mixed together. But I can't find Josh Fields for some reason. Maybe I left him in the envelope by chance. Did he get stuck in the envelope? I didn't think he did. Maybe he did. No, I don't see that he did. Yes, he did actually get stuck in the envelope. He mixed in with the starters by accident, so didn't even bring him out to begin with, but now he's coming in. Got called in from the clubhouse. Said, we got a 10 to 4 game. We need you to mop up. So he gets mop up duty. Does Josh Fields. And we'll get the numbers on Fields. And of course the new catcher is Jason Castro. He came in to catch, or pinch hit rather, for Conger. He's going to stay in the game to catch. And Josh Fields on in to pitch. Number on Fields on the replay, he's 0-1 with a save, 3 innings pitched. I'm sorry, ERA of 3, 12 innings pitched, 14 hits, 3 runs, and 20 strikeouts. So he's definitely been very effective in his time in this league so far. So he's not chopped liver by any means. Fields, be the 5th Astro pitcher to pitch after Feldman got hurt early. So top of the 9th, Ryan Howard to lead it off. 4-10, and that's a strikeout. So Fields strikes out Howard to start the top of the 9th. So we had a close game for 7 innings anyway, or 7.5 innings. Here's Franco. 4-5, and that's a ground ball to shortstop X. That's Correa. He's a 2. 2 and a 9, probably going to an error check for a shortstop. Yes, it is, and Correa is an E22. E22 and a 9. E22 and a 9 is a good play. Ground ball A. So 2 down. And the Phillies 1 out away from joining the Giants in last place at 6 and 16. Astros 1 out away from getting back to the 500 mark with a record of 11 and 11. Ashy 1-8. That's a pop out to short. That'll do it. That'll end the ball game. Astros win it with 6 in the 8th inning as they get to the Philly bullpen and take a 4-4 tie and blow it wide open. So the Astros get back to 500. Phillies continue to be bitten by the bad luck bug along with the Giants. They're both 6 and 16, tied for last place. Let's get the totals for the Astros. Let's bring the line score up here for the Astros. It's pretty ugly, but that's what are you going to do? Let's see here. 10 runs, 17 hits, and no errors. For the Phillies, 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Left on base, Phillies 3, Astros 6. Winning pitcher is actually Chad Qualls, and he did get that. We talked about getting those vulture wins. He is now tied for the league lead in wins with 4. He improves to 4 and 1. Losing pitcher is Jenmar Gomez. He drops to 0 and 3. So there you have it. The last game in Series 8 for the video purposes, which was matchup number 5, and you just had it right here. So we'll play the rest of the Series 8 offline, and then Series 9 will begin, and I believe the first game in Series 9 is going to come to us from Cincinnati, where the Mets will travel to face on the Red Hot Reds. So that'll be the first game in Series 9. But for now, Series 8 is wrapping up, and had a close game there for most of the game. Just that 8th inning kind of got out of hand, and D20s just were unkind to many of those teams. So that's going to do it from here. Astros end up blowing out the Phillies 10-4, good buddy, after it was tied at 4 through 7.5. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.